1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0.
Do you want some?
What?
Do you want some khichdi?
प्योर इंदौरी खिचड़ी
ये थोड़ा धीरे बोलो, पुलिस वाले सुन लेंगे।
कितनी मिल जाएगी?
पहला दोना फ्री, दूसरे का डबल, लेकिन पीछे वाली गली में आके लो।
लेकिन खिचड़ी प्योर है ना, ऊपर से घी की जगह डालडा तो नहीं डाल दिया?
अपन लोग क्राइम भी ईमानदारी से करते हैं।
तुमने अपने हाथों से बनाई है? प्रूफ है? बहुत बढ़िया। ऑफिसर अरेस्ट करो इन्हें। एमपी पुलिस खिचड़ी डिवीजन, बच के कहाँ जाओगे?
लगेगी आग तो आएंगे घर की सदमे। यहाँ पे सिर्फ हमारा मकान थोड़ी है। मैं जानता हूँ कि दुश्मन भी कम नहीं। मैं जानता हूँ, मैं जानता हूँ, मैं जानता हूँ कि दुश्मन भी कम नहीं। मैं जानता हूँ, लेकिन हमारी तरह हथेली पे जान थोड़ी है। सभी का खून है शामिल, सभी का खून है शामिल। यहाँ की मिट्टी में किसी के बाप का हिंदुस्तान थोड़ी है।
Hey, piece of shit. I can't do that. Never mind.
Okay, I'll do it. Hello, freak bitches. Hello, freak bitches. Guys,
Joe
as
Rogan's
you
gonna
all
sue
know,
us.
we are trying to be the second best podcast for fascism in the world after Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is still the leading podcast for
This is-
fascism, and
this
we
is
are
too
trying to
low
like
blow.
close second. It is.
You
Like
know-
we
you know
have
why?
discussed that a lot. Yeah.
Hear you. Like, he's never gonna hear this podcast. So
Yes.
you're just like talking shit at him. That's not cool.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
He's a good guy.
I'll tell you something. A very interesting story. Someone asked Frank Lloyd Wright. Frank Lloyd Wright is the architect based upon whose life story Ayn Rand wrote that book Fountainhead.
Okay.
And he's a very big architect. He made this building called the Falling Waters, and like he's an iconic architect. Someone asked him how to be the best architect in the world. He said, I don't know how to be the best architect, like the most. He said, so the question was how to be the biggest or the most famous architect in the world. He said, I don't know how to be the most famous architect in the world. I don't know. I know how to be the second most famous architect in the world. So the guy asked, okay, how to be the second most famous architect in the world? He said, throw a shoe on the most famous architect in the world. And you know that guy who threw and that guy who threw shoe on Bush, then like started winning elections in that area, and like he's now a minister. Do you know that? It really happens.
No. Makes sense.
You
though.
remember someone threw a shoe on Bush, right? You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
That guy is now like an important minister.
Amazing.
Speaking
I'm
of
happy about
ministers, Rajiv Tyagi passed away.
Oh yeah.
You know who Rajiv Tyagi is?
No.
Okay. I know,
No,
of
I
course you
don't.
know who
I
it is,
don't.
but let's get rhetorical. We are like, this show is
Yeah.
nothing if not rhetorical.
R.I.P.
Rajiv
Rest in
Tyagi
peace.
is the hero who gave us the world's first politically correct gali. Okay, the internet came in, and suddenly the world was like wild west. Okay, everything was liberal, everything was politically correct, everything had to be censored. You cannot go around calling people "Eh bhen ke lavde, eh bhen cho." You could not do that on internet because you would get cancelled, because like you have to be politically correct all the time. Rajiv Tyagi did something magical. He spoke two beautiful words, Bhadwa or Dalal. These are completely feminist, completely PC Galia, as PC as it can get. Right? And now, every time you see a Bhakt, you can just call him a Bhadwa Dalal. You see Godi media, you call them Bhadwa Dalal. You see a minister, you don't like him, you call him Bhadwa Dalal. Okay? Your
I see.
teacher doesn't give you good marks, you call him a Bhadwa Dalal. Your mom doesn't make nice food, you be nice to her. She can kick your ass. But like,
Interesting.
still this legendary. So this guy, this hero who doesn't wear a cape, gave us two most iconic words of our generation, which we can now use, and we can call anyone Bhadwa and Dalal. And like, if you call someone Bhadwa and Dalal, you win. You win the debate, you win. You don't need to make sense. You don't need to be logical. You just need to call someone Bhadwa Dalal. So Rajiv Dikshit, Rajiv Tyagi, respect to him. I don't even remember his name properly, but RIP still.
Okay. Now that we're done
And-
with that,
Also, can
Sorry,
I
what were you
quickly quickly do that Rahat Indori thing? I just want to address Rahat Indori passed away recently. He was an amazing poet. Everyone should go and listen to his poems. Very beautiful work, and very accessible work. Like he's a poet, but he doesn't try to be one of those inaccessible Urdu poets, right? He's very punk, he's very grunge, he's very real, he's very hip hop too, so to say, if it's safe to say, because like, and he's also a very good shair. He writes in words like "Kisi ke baap ka Hindustan thoda hi hai," right? Just in like this kind of he brought Urdu back to streets where like people speak in this language and people express in this language, and for that I respect Rahat Indori. So rest in peace, rest in rage, rest in glory, Rahat Indori.
I like literally don't know enough about this guy.
Well, he does Hindi and
No.
Urdu stuff, so I can understand if you don't know about him. But a lot of people been passing away recently, man. A lot of people getting sick, and like, I don't know this.
Yeah,
like
you think there's a pandemic happening, and it's like it's no idea what's happening in this world.
Yeah,
It's people dying.
it is, man.
I hear it has something to do with the Koreans.
The Koreans.
Yeah, or the
How?
Mexicans or something. I'm not sure.
Okay,
We
I
were just
get
talking.
what you are trying
Yeah,
to
I don't know
say.
anything about
It's a
what's
low
going
blow
on.
on the fact that I am a China stan. Okay, fine, all right. Um,
Yeah.
so
Can't
today's
blame
topic
China
is
for anything.
we can't. We can blame them, but like the extent of harm we can do is like ban one app. So, I mean, it's like, khud ka mazak udana. Tell me
Nice.
about your relationship with food, man, because like I heard recently you started going vegan, right?
Yeah, I've pretty much. I mean, pure vegans would be like you're not vegan, but from what I used to eat, I've pretty much changed. Done a pretty much 180. From being like a full meat eater, never like had a meal without meat, and just living like a life of complete decadence. Like ice cream sundae, pawn sundae, plus like chicken meat, fucking mussels, fish, duck. Like I've eaten pretty much
Yeah.
everything, and I would have continued to do so. I don't give a shit. But my health started to suffer, and yeah. Then
Tell
I
me
did
some
a
of the
full 180.
interesting things
Yeah.
that you have eaten in the past. Tell me some interesting stuff that
Okay, like bat. Like
you
a long
have
time
had
ago.
bad soup.
I've had bat
You've
ones. I've had frog ones. I've had
Okay.
silkworms. I've had grasshoppers.
Wow, you really
I've
like.
had.
And
Yeah,
like,
I've eaten pretty much any meat. Any meat you put in front of me, I'll eat it, except for elephants and dogs, because I had a pet dog, so I can't
Yeah.
eat dogs, and elephants
Yeah.
because my mom loves elephants. If you ever come to my house, there's elephants everywhere, and I'm
Oh,
from
really?
Kerala. Yeah, there's elephants everywhere. Like not Kerala house, in my Faridabad house, it's just like the couch has elephants, the dining table has elephants. Next to the every
yeah, I've
pillar
seen
there's
that
an
house.
elephant.
yeah.
Yeah, the door handles are elephants. I can't eat an elephant. I'll eat anything else. Human flesh. I'll eat human flesh before I eat an elephant. Like if me and you are in a forest
Yeah.
and I'm hungry and there's an elephant and there's you, I will kill you first, and I will let the elephant be.
Okay, I'll remember to never take this show on road.
Yeah, because I will eat you like in 20 minutes.
Yeah, this show is getting too sexual too soon. So I'll talk about my relationship with food. Okay, I have the most stupid story in the universe. Like most stories of my life, it was full
Nice.
of sham and deceit. So I will not
Amazing.
name the person because, like, I don't want to go to jail. But like as a
Okay.
child, I watched a TV show which used to come on Doordarshan or I think Metro, DD Metro. और वो शो था है I don't want to name the show. I don't want to name the show, but I think people can take the hint. And वो show में they used to explain why people should be vegetarian, and they used to like give very detailed kind of a thing on like on animal cruelty and environment and all. And I, as a child, I got very influenced by that show, and I stopped eating meat. As I
What
grew
show
up,
is this?
I don't want to name the show because
Why? Why don't you want to name the show? Who's gonna
Okay,
fuck with you?
it
Just
was
say it.
Heads and Tails by Menaka
What the
Gandhi.
fuck is that?
और भाई साहब आज चाय के साथ क्या ले रहे हैं आप?
जनाब चाय के साथ तो मैं सिर्फ चाय लूंगा आज।
चाय के साथ चाय?
ये वाला तो एक्चुअली थोड़ा फनी हो गया।
हाँ, ये वाला एपिसोड मॉडरेटली अब्सर्ड है तो हो जाता है कभी फनी।
सही है।
1 2 3 4
And I was like, don't tell me which overseas weapons company to invest in. So anyway, this guy, he died, right? And we had to go and bury him. So we went to the crematorium, but it was so quiet. I was like, what is this? A funeral or a meeting for people who invested in Chevrolet? Huh? Any Punjabis in the house?
Hello everyone. Today we have an interview with a spoon. So Mr. Spoon, are you prepared for this correspondence?
You mean correspondence?
Right. So what's your favorite IPL team?
Kings 11 Spoon Job.
Okay, I see what you're doing there. If someone gives you an advertisement, will you call it a spoonsership? Get it?
I don't see why that's funny. It's not even a real word. You're just making it up for the sake of the joke.
Sorry about that, Mr. Spoon. Back to your life. How's your day been?
I'm doing great. You could say I'm Spoon Burp. I just watched my favorite TV show, SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh wow, sounds great. Coming to my next question. What are your thoughts on philosophy?
I have no concrete thoughts as such. I take things one step at a time, you know. I believe in the spontaneity of life.
And what do you think of life?
Life is nothing but a string of unrelated events, all connected through your existence.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay.
I have more personality to myself, you know. If you want jokes, go and ask someone else to spoon feed it to you.
Thank you so much, sir. See you, Spoon.
But these supplements are themselves extracted from animals, aren't they? Sometimes.
No, there are vegan supplements. There are vegan supplements also. So
There are vegan supplements.
Yeah. So what the most popular argument is that if you don't eat meat, if you don't eat animal flesh, if you don't consume dairy products, you're gonna be deficient in B12. Like B12 is the most thrown argument. Like you lose B12 because it comes from animals. But the truth is, it doesn't come from animals. It comes from the soil. Like the
Yes, but animals process this into a form that can be absorbed by
Yeah.
our bodies, because I know that in some forms that it exists in plants and it cannot be absorbed by our body.
So that
Unless
so that
you're eating
absorption,
algae,
the
like
absorption portion that happens inside animal, instead of having it inside animals, they do it somewhere else, and that's how they make vegan supplements. So that's how. It's vegan.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, but
that's
you're-
the health. Sorry to interrupt you. Go on.
No, that's the health method. I was going to say the same thing. Then there's the ethics concept behind it.
There's
Why
there's
people
also
turn
another
vegan,
important thing,
because they
like
don't wanna hurt animals.
if you go to a doctor, you have a problem like cold, cough, anything. If you have like serious problem like lungs problem, if you're smoking something, is smoking a lot or drinking a lot, you have like something with your body. So they'll give you prescriptions, right? And those prescriptions are often non-vegan. But then if you don't have any options in those circumstances, so what you do, you have no other choice but to consume it. But that doesn't invalidate your veganism. You're still vegan, because if you go by the definition, it says as practicable as far as possible to avoid all those things. So if you like the more famous argument, they say like if you're stuck on the desert with a pig, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna eat? Whether you're gonna kill or not?
Oh no, that's fucking stupid. Yeah. No, if you gotta survive, you gotta survive.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. So that's
then obviously.
Yeah. So that's
it's when you make a choice in a situation where you can have anything, that's when you'd be called a vegan or a non-vegetarian or something.
Yeah. So
Otherwise, we're
so only
omnivores. We'll
those
do whatever the
people. Oh, sorry, I cut you off.
No, I was just saying. Otherwise, we're omnivores. We're opportunists. We'll take what we can get. That's pretty much it.
So if you go by the definition of veganism, I mean, those statements are made only by people who don't know about like the basic definition of veganism. but they haven't even read up about it or anything. They just think that attacking their food, we're attacking their choice of food.
No, but the question of ethical eating, you probably heard this stuff, like how even vegan farmers, they end up destroying a lot of their ecology because they use the same kind of herbicides, pesticides, and they're actually more aggressive about it. They end up killing animals who come in, forage or whatever, sneak into their farms. They're killed off as well. So you essentially, even a vegan farmer or whoever you're getting your food from is essentially doing harm to living beings. And then there's the other, this is proven, I think, that plants also feel. They can feel stuff. They respond to stuff. They have children. They care about their children. They even fight back, technically.
So there's a different actually being how plants respond and how animals respond. So first of all, I'll come to the first question, that was that vegan farmers also harm the animals, and they also destroy living beings, like insects, for example, and pesticide. They use pesticides. So the thing is,
it's like wombats, and not wombats, but those
mice, rats, and sometimes squirrels, smaller animals, and sometimes even bigger animals like boar, like some bovine animals, some deer and all, and even dogs. Of course, the bigger animals have to be kept away. So there is no guilt-free or non-violent means of agriculture actually existing. It has never existed throughout the history of human beings, and it doesn't exist now either.
No, it has existed before. If you look at Chachapoya civilization from South America, and there is another civilization from the same area. There are two civilizations. They were practically almost vegan. They used alpacas, I think what we call them, if I'm pronouncing it right. Alpacas. They only used alpacas for carrying their, using them as a beast of burden. Otherwise, they didn't kill animals, they didn't kill anything, and they were even for farming, because they lived on mountains, and mountains was pretty difficult to farm and everything. So that's it. But the thing is, if you look at current scenario, there's no ethical way of doing farming. But that should not stop people from going vegan, because at the end of the day, you kill much more animals if you are consuming non-vegan, if you are demanding for non-vegan foods, such as meat and all sort of different type of meats and different type of fish you're demanding. And at the end of the day, you're just killing more people. Just for milk and beef, we kill around 33 billion cows every year just in India, if I'm not wrong. I think more than 33 billion. And if we count chickens, it's even more, 155 billion. So that argument, I don't think it justifies. Like you say, they kill, and we should avoid that. We should use not organic farming, but organic ways of pesticides.
But whatever, it's not only about pesticides, Pratik, na? Because ultimately when you farm, you have to keep birds away. You have to, because when animals see food, they want to come and eat it. It's not this kind of a thing doesn't exist in nature. It's a culture. Agriculture is a part of culture. So when there is grain which is easily digestible, or it looks appealing as we humans grow it, then animals want to come and they want to eat it, and then you have to stop those animals. And such animals are birds, they are squirrels, they are rodents, they are bigger animals, and there is an entire ecosystem. So first of all, even for basic fundamental farming, it's not so when you feed livestock, you don't feed them good quality food, you feed them very low quality food and sometimes byproducts of the food that is already being prepared for humans. That is partly why humans started using animals, is because जो घास वगैरह निकलती थी, which was extra from the main crop that we had grown, उस घास को you could give to the animals, and that gives you extra protein to your entire thing, right?
Yeah. So still, what you just, that they
No,
like,
I have no
use the-
problem with you being vegan. I'm saying ki, like on the issue of it being more moral, I find that question debatable because once everyone goes vegan, then we will have to grow so much grain more. Right? Obviously, capitalism is the problem which we both agree with. That if abhi current form mein jo
it's not.
agriculture
We
ho
don't.
raha hai,
We won't have to. No. We won't have to grow more food, more grains, because we are already producing more grains, like 2 times, at least 2.5 times. I read a research about it. I'll give you the link if you want it later on. There's at least more than twice we produce the food, like vegan food, like grains, for people to eat in the entire world. Like the whole 7 billion population can eat it twice and a half. That much amount of food
I mean,
we
I
already
keep
grow.
listening to these calculations and they never sound realistic to me. If we really have to go by the same set of calculations that you are talking about, then we need 2.5 Earths to survive on this planet, which is not the case that's happening now. So, like, I don't want to get into those kind of
Other than that
calculations who
also,
are not realistic. They're never
just
realistic.
like grains, there also
No,
be
I
like
didn't get-
forcing farmers. There also be forcing farmers to like grow vegetables forcibly because they need to like match the
Yeah.
avocado quota or something, and just eating fruits and vegetables out of season as well, and that's also happening
Yeah.
a lot. I think that's also unhealthy essentially. It has to be ecology based. It has to be like conscientious, because at the end of the day, it's a lifestyle fetish. It's like a fad. At the end of the day, a lot of these
At
people
some
who
level,
used to be vegan,
especially with American
like,
veganism and American
vegan
leftism,
influencers
you know
in
how
general.
it is.
Vegan influencers are now turning out from vegan because first of the health issues that they're facing, because I don't think they know what the fuck they're doing in the first place. Second is there's going to be a negative impact if you embrace any one polarized version of eating or existing. Do you know what I mean? It has to be wider reaching is what I think. So people who are hardcore like carnivores or hardcore vegans, it's you're again, everybody's just going to the extremes, which I think is a little I mean, I guess it's a little decadent
No,
on top of that.
there's no
In a
such thing
weird
as
way.
hardcore vegans. And you like initially said also that about pure veganism, there's
No,
no
no,
such thing as pure veganism. You know, this concept of hardcore and this concept of purity actually comes in India. I'm talking about with respect to India. It actually comes from the Brahminical influence, where you know, the more you do, the less you do harm, the more moral you are. But that
Yeah, pure vegetarian.
Yeah, no, by hardcore I just mean people who are like fully vegan, or and they will specifically go after that.
Let's say
and
militant
they will not
vegans
be
who-
omnivores, you know.
Like for example,
They
there was
won't
this
adjust
video going
to their
around.
ecology.
There was
What?
also this video going around of this woman who was going and she was harassing these people who like, he was trying to reproduce his cattle, as in how, I don't know what's the correct way to put this, but like he was trying to get his cow impregnated by bulls, right?
Animal
Now
husbandry.
that's a standard method of, and I understand that it involves some practices which we would insemination, and like there are various ways to do it. Some ways are less humane than other ways, but this woman went around and she started harassing this poor guy who like owns one cow and maybe he has a small stable, and she started harassing him.
you're talking about this video of India, right? Some woman India, right? Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, so
what do you have to say about that?
So the problem there are two things in that video. The first thing is that she was also right in a place and she was also wrong in a place. Why she was right in a place? Because it's actually sexual exploitation. Because that cow, we don't have the consent of that cow to whether she wants to get impregnated or not.
We don't need consent of cows. Like that's not how agriculture works. We also don't have a consent of plants to like cut them up, mix them up, and
No,
turn
but
them into
plants,
these thick
again,
grains
plants,
which we can eat.
No, again, plants and animals are different. There's a thing called sentience. What plants respond to? What
But
plants
also
respond
animals
to?
and humans are different. That's what Hegel said. That's what many other philosophers said.
Yeah.
The humans and animals are also different. It's not like we are
And that
same
white people
we
and
are-
black people are different.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
like,
come on.
I
That's
mean,
No, that's
you
exactly
can
what
go.
it is.
You can go as far
I
back
don't
in the
want to-
conversation. You can see what that turns into. If you
Yeah.
start different beings, because plants are sentient. They are. They do.
Yeah.
They know when they're
No,
being
plants
killed.
are not sentient. Plants are not
Yeah,
sentient.
they
beings.
can. What do you think is happening?
No, it
What
has
do you-
been proved. Wasn't
It's been
there
proven.
an Indian guy who
Which?
proved the
JC
Ramanujam or
Bose.
someone?
Bose.
Yeah,
Bose.
I'm sorry.
Jagdish Bose.
I'm an asshole. Yeah,
Not only that, newer.
You
he's
read
like a long
about
time
you
back.
read
I'm
about the
talking
research. You
newer-
read about the research. He himself said that plant stimuli, they respond to stimuli. He said that it could be possible that they
That's
may respond
essential.
as a he
That
he
was
was unclear
a
about
long
his
time back, but
own position
recent
in the
recent
research itself.
Recent studies,
There have been new studies on the issue.
newer studies would say that actually plants do, like when you go to kill them, they know that you're coming to kill them, and so they disperse their nutrients. They send the nutrients to like other plants which are attached to them via root structures and stuff. And plants over like hundreds of millions of years have essentially after like because plants were there first, right?
Yeah.
Before animals. And they were
then
chilling.
there is fungus, man.
And they were like
Fungus is
procreating
not
and all
same
this
as
shit.
plants even.
And then animals showed
Yeah,
up, started
fungus are
eating
not
them.
as same as
and they were
plants.
like, no, I'm saying, listen to what I'm saying. And then animals
Yeah.
were like, okay, I don't like being fucking eaten by this fucking animal, and he comes and fucks me up every time, so I have to come up with defensive ways. So there are certain plants which actually like fight back, certain trees which have.
That's again the
There's a
response to
reason-
stimuli. That again the response
There's
to
a certain-
stimuli. That's not sentience. Sentience is when you
Yeah,
start
but what is
feeling
stimuli? Dude,
emotion.
even
but
we
like
respond to
that's-
stimuli. Even we respond to stimuli.
Yeah, but
Essentially,
we
if-
have central nervous system. We think like animals.
But
we
that's your
feel like
definition
animals.
that's your definition of life.
That's
is what
not
it-
my
is the central nervous
definition.
system
That's
is of
not my
pain.
definition.
Acha,
So you're saying
Prateek,
that what if I took an animal, or what if we took an animal and we like killed him in a painless way, completely painless, zero pain,
That's still
zero
not
like
justified. That's still not justified.
that's still not
Because
but
you don't have the
plant
consent.
also has the same
Because
thing.
you don't have the consent, and
You can't have
The
consent.
thing
How
is-
can an animal give you consent?
there is no way you can have a consent from an animal anyway.
How can a
So
plant give you consent?
Listen to me. So what happens if somebody is not able to give consent? Does it mean that we already have the consent?
No,
Or
but this
No,
is
not
farming.
humans.
This
I'm
is
not talking
human
about
culture.
humans.
No,
I'm
what
talking
does
about-
it make
Give me
us
plants. Tell me about plants.
It makes
How-
us
how
human.
do you-
We are
how do you get
human
consent from
culture,
plants?
isn't it?
No,
Because you're
if you
considering- you're
so
saying
like
the
if
plants are
somebody is not
inert.
able to give the consent, if somebody able to give the consent and we do whatever we want with them, what does it say about us?
Listen, 1 second. You're going into like a weird rapey type of right
Because
now.
it is sexual exploitation. What did I say? I can't
No,
use
I'm
rape
talking about,
because
like,
that's not
there's a
technically what
plant.
happened, but it's sexual
There's a plant.
exploitation.
Think about it. You know the rajma jahan se aate kidney beans. Okay?
Yeah.
Or like some plant which is high in lectins. Okay. Why is that thing there? Why do you have to cook down beans? Why do you have to cook down a lot of raw vegetables? So that you don't get nauseous and shit. Like if you try to eat kidney bean or like potatoes or whatever, you try to eat them raw, you're gonna feel nauseous because of the high lectin content, because plants are doing that. So you don't come back to that plant. But we figured out how to cook it.
That's not the logical explanation of it.
That's
I don't
it. Do you know
think that's
why we can see color? Do you know why humans can see color? And do you know why certain animals can see color really well and certain can't? Why do you think that is?
Danger.
Because of
What danger? Danger, right?
Because of fruits. If you're a fruit predator, if you eat fruits, then you have color. And that's because the tree wants to tell you that, okay, this is ripe now. So take it, my seeds are developed, and you're going to eat it or shit it out or spit out the seed, because most of us, I don't think we can digest most seeds. And that way you create pollination. Essentially, we have evolved along with the plants, and they've made us evolve in a certain way so that it works in their benefit. Some plants, straight up, you eat them, you die. You're poisoned. And when you're doing this, that is the plant's response to us. It wasn't just like that. It didn't just exist like that. It's evolved like that. And we have evolved to be able to know that, okay, I can eat this, I can't eat this. And that's why we have color. That's why monkeys have color. That's why cats don't have great color. Dogs don't have great color. And that's why bees can see, they have a different spectrum altogether, because they harvest in a different way.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
But that's still but that's still not an explanation to why we should kill everything because plants
I mean,
plants
the
have
only-
stimuli.
No, I'm not saying we should kill everything. I'm saying that.
No,
even
I'm saying we
plants
should
have
kill
that-
And
everything.
again, the conversation
saying-
just
I'm
very
saying- I'll tell
cunningly
you why
shifted
I
from
think-
consent to whether we should kill animals or not because we kill plants.
No. I'm saying this is an argument that I'm sorry to say, but I heard in Lil Dicky video where he said we are humans, we have been doing agriculture, we were hunting before, and now we hunt better, and that's it. We are human beings, we hunt, we kill animals, we eat animals, we kill plants, we take minerals out of the ground, we use them, convert them into guitars, into cameras, we take stop water, convert it into electricity. That's what we do. We are humans, and this is human culture. And
Yeah, I mean, if you be
Yeah,
a wolf on the way back home,
there's no ethical
personal
conception
level-
under capitalism.
and on personal level, and and I'm saying on personal level, if you want to make a choice of being a vegan, I'm fine with that. What I am personally, I have a problem with is when I don't have a problem with you, Karthik, or anyone. I have a problem with these militant vegans who go out there and try to enforce such ideas on the people who are poor, who are tribal, who are Dalits, and that's why it's great that we have you here today. You can perhaps give us a perspective into the caste issue of this entire thing, but there is also the money issue, the class issue of the dietary thing, because it is culture, it has existed for so long. In coastal regions, there are areas where you can go and you can buy enough fish for 1 rupees or 2 rupees to feed yourself and your family, right? In coastal regions.
Okay, so let me start with this. So the thing is, as of right now, many vegans, anti-species vegans, they understand what consent is like, and they've used this whatever you call it, term or the concept on the animals, like non-human animals. They've transferred this on non-human animals. So now we know that if an animal is not able to give the consent, we shouldn't test them, we shouldn't use them, or we shouldn't do anything without their consent. So we have moved them. Now maybe in 100 years, 120 years, or maybe 500 years, 1,000 years, maybe plants will evolve. They'll start defending themselves. They'll start showing more emotion. Maybe there will be better research that will come up, and they'll say that
then we will
plants
make
are
better
already
guns.
defending themselves. They're already defending themselves.
We'll
It's already
just
happening.
make better tools. We'll make guns to shoot
already
these plants
happening.
down and eat them.
Yeah. So then we'll
all
we'll
energy.
see
I'm
what
sorry to
happens.
disturb.
No, we'll see what happens in the future. But right now, we're just using that
hypotheticals में नहीं पढ़ सकते. Yeah.
No, but seriously,
wait.
they are defending
Hypothetical में
themselves. I'm just saying. I just want
No,
to repeat
plants-
that. They are defending themselves.
that is stimuli, and there's a difference between sentience and stimuli. You can't have you can't call stimuli sentience. There's a difference. There's a difference between killing a potato and killing a goat, right? Like you'll see when you see a bunch of chickens and with chicks, you see a bunch of potatoes together.
Okay,
You'll see.
is there a
Can I quickly
difference
stop you?
between? There's a difference between killing a tree and killing a goat. There is. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, and let me stop both of you there just for a second, okay? Don't you think this is extremely selfish, and this is very, anthropocentrism. We are putting human emotions on these plants and on these animals, and we think, oh, it is bad because we feel this is bad. That is just that's another level of dehumanization.
No,
and then what happens is,
but we have already dehumanized plants, and we have already dehumanized animals already, and this is
and I'm saying that's
giving them
human
space.
culture. And if on personal level someone makes a choice to be vegan, that's fine. But as human culture, people who are from certain religions, people who are from certain tribal groups, people who are from certain caste or some certain class who have access to these, this is their only access to heavy proteins. The problem is this one last access to heavy proteins from their life will also be gone if we keep doing this thing. And that's my point.
So,
What if these?
I
animals?
get your point.
Can you kill animals that are assholes? Can you kill animals that
No.
are assholes? Like
Because
in
they
general.
kill humans
Like
that are
dolphins are assholes. Otters are assholes. Ducks are like
Dolphins
rapists.
rape all the time. Dolphins are fucking
Dolphins rape.
rapacious.
Otters rape, and they kill. They kill
ducks
and then rape
rape,
that
ducks
dead
rape.
body.
Ducks do that
rape.
too.
Did you know
Rabbits
otters are
rape.
necrophiliacs?
Everything.
They're necro.
That's everything human do in the worst way. Have you seen a rat fucking a dead rat? Or have you seen dolphins
That's
fucking
what
a
I'm
dead
saying.
dolphin?
Animals are also necrophiliacs. The animals, humans are also. There seems to be a natural thing.
They're not.
Animals are not
Have you seen
necrophiliacs?
rat fucking a dead rat.
Yeah, that happens. That's a real thing.
I've seen an otter fucking a dead otter.
Anyway.
I've seen
let's move
seals
to the-
raping penguins. There's
We
footage
have gone
of
into a
seals
really
raping penguins for
difficult
fun.
territory here.
I'm just saying.
we
I'm just
are in
saying.
the cancel territory.
There's
We are in
some-
the cancel territory.
There's
Cancel
some
territory.
asshole.
Cancel territory.
There are some real
But that
asshole
still
animals.
doesn't justify. It's like saying, oh, humans
Yes.
kill and rape, so we should kill all humans.
No. Okay, so I'm
I mean,
just
some
saying
would agree
that
with you.
let's have personal ethics. Let's have personal ethics.
Kill all men.
No. Okay. I'm just saying. Okay, we have to take some questions, and we are in a very dangerous cancel territory right now. And we just are 3 episodes in, and our video
Who's
is
going to
blocking.
cancel you? Dolphins going to cancel you? The dolphins
We are
going to
not
cancel
important.
you?
Also,
Is that
we are
what's
not
gonna happen?
important enough.
That too.
Right.
No dolphins are
No,
canceling us.
I wanted to actually talk
Focus
about
on
the
the computer
caste and class aspect of
Okay, yeah.
point. If you have time.
We have to take questions, but you can quickly touch that.
Okay, so the thing is, if we are not accepting the consent concept as of now, like animals cannot give consent, so we can do whatever we want, then it doesn't gonna work. It's not gonna work. Then you can very easily say that vegans can be vegans. It's their choice, and they don't have right to stop somebody who is non-vegan. But if you accept, like we already have, but if you don't even want to accept that, then there is no argument against it. But if you have to understand this very core part of the philosophy, anti-speciesism, just like racism, just like sexism, just like casteism, it is speciesism. Speciesism is like when you oppress a living being because it belongs to different species, and you think you have a moral right, you have a higher right to oppress them.
There's a genetic version of it also. So genetically, if the gene pool that I come from has for thousands of years been eating fish and rice, and you tell me to switch to avocados and vegan wheat bread, like wheat bread or some shit, I'm gonna end up with a lot of fucked up things because my genetics, I mean how you eat in your diet and how you live can access certain parts of your DNA and stuff, right?
Okay. First of all, I like to clear this misconception that most vegans eat avocados. Most vegans can't afford avocados. At least in India, can't afford avocados.
Example, man.
And more than 70 to 80% of population, 70 to 80% of population, Dalit population in India, Dalit and Bahujans and Adivasi, they by default eat vegan food, crops and all. They're like, if you consider those farming methods, then obviously it's not. But then again, veganism is not about completely excluding cruelty. It's like as far as possible, as practical as possible. That's how it differs from Brahminism, Brahministic veganism or Brahminism point of view. It differs from that. So if you consider that way, then most of the people are. If you see the staple food, like most poor people eat from all those places. Why it's good and why it's also bad. Like if you see misal pav in Bombay, if you see vada pav and all those things, masala dosa and lot of staple food from dal, rice and everything. It's mostly vegan. Idli and
man,
lemon
if you're
rice.
talking about Bombay, you are living in Bombay 2020. In 2015, staple food in Bombay was beef and roti. Okay, I just want you to know. If you really are if you want to get into
it's a city.
keema pav. Yeah. So we can't make this kind of a cultural argument based upon a city which has been been a victim of fascism, and now we say oh, look at the staple food is now.
No, I'm coming to it. Like it's not just about Bombay, but all over India. That's why I said it's like mostly 70 to 80%. And even then, we have like when we say that veganism very unaffordable. That was my argument. Like veganism is actually affordable, and You know, it's not.
That's not,
it's
no,
not
that's
like
not
fancy
what I'm
eating.
saying at all.
It's n-
That's not what I'm saying at all.
Huh?
I'm saying that there is a genetic reprise also. There's a way that certain people have been eating for thousands of years, you know,
Yeah.
and you still have to stay true to that a little bit because that's what you are, right? That, I mean, and in turn, that also brings me to the concept of stimuli. Even humans, even animals, we all evolved on the basis of stimuli, you know. That is how this universe works. We have light as a stimuli, so we have eyes. There's animals who live at the bottom of the ocean in complete darkness. They don't have eyes. They can't see because there's no point to it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, at least
Anyway,
that's
we
what I
have
think
to.
what evolution
I'm
is
sorry to interrupt
essentially.
you both, but we have to take some questions because our beautiful, beautiful friends who I begged. I personally begged. I degraded myself and I asked them for some questions. But before we go to questions, we have to ask God. Is God there? God, are you listening to us, God? God?
Yeah,
God
I'm
has
here.
left.
What's up,
Oh,
baby?
God is here. God, should we be vegan or should we eat plants?
Are
God,
you
should we
vegan,
eat
God?
sandwiches?
I
God, are
honestly
you
don't give a
vegan?
shit. God hates you all.
God, what do you eat, God? I've always been curious. What do you eat?
I eat other gods.
I have a God. Okay.
Other gods, motherfucker.
Like who?
Like a
Who did you eat?
sandwich
who's the
or
last
just
god you
raw?
ate?
God thinks all humans should die. Because humans suck. You guys were my worst idea ever.
Okay.
And like this podcast is just proof of that. You're welcome.
Okay. Let's go to
Thanks
the
for
questions.
orgasms, God. Thank you.
Ah, no
Thanks for
way, baby.
orgasms. That was good. Okay, let's take some questions now, I guess.
You got something right.
बड़ा पाव, my question is, अगर मैं अपनी नाक में उंगली डाल करके उसे खा जाता हूँ, I don't know where, like, you know, my my ethical, moral compass should be.
The question is, if you eat your boogers, is it cannibalism?
Or is it veganism? It's
Or
not
is it
veganism.
It's an animal, it's a human product. Is it cannibalism? God, what do you say? God is eating boogers?
No, I think it's not cannibalism because cannibalism involves flesh. That's what I mean. Flesh of humans, I guess. As far as
There
I
is
know.
some flesh. I'm sure there is
on.
something in
So-
boogers. There's some cells.
What's
so
that?
if we ate only animal products in sense like phlegm, shit, piss, that's veganism.
That's not veganism.
No, it has
because
to be no.
That's not veganism, but that's not
That's
that's
totally
not eating the
veganism.
animal.
that's not. But then again, it's not veganism. Then what's the point of
Accurate, that's
asking
right.
about?
But you're not eating the animal. But what is that then?
That is still because that's
Oh,
an
because-
animal product. It's an animal product, right? So that's not veganism.
Okay, it's not veganism. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's not It is cannibalism then because it's a human product. Boogers.
Okay.
No, I
But
don't know.
I think cannibalism involves eating flesh.
Maybe. I'm not sure, man.
We'll let God have the last word. God, can you hear us?
Yeah, what's up?
God is eating boogers cannibalism.
Yes.
It is cannibalism. So if people who eat boogers go to hell, or do they go to heaven? Do they go to booger heaven? Is like that they're a different kind of a heaven, like a booger heaven. What happens to what do you do to the kids who eat boogers?
They just die. And then their body just like rots in the ground. And then nobody gives a shit after some time. Yeah.
Okay, God, that's a grim thing to know. Let's move on to the next question, I guess.
That's what life is fucking like, man.
I thought you will give us philosophical advice. You're fucking God. You created the universe.
I created nothing. I am not the father.
The practice of not eating meat and dairy in
Whatever,
favour
let's
of
listen.
vegetables and plant-based foods has long been referred to as vegan, and has recently been commercialized and fetishized by influencers, corporations, brands, to a point where it appears elitist and non-inclusive. Considering the health benefits of a plant-based diet, should we be trying harder as a society to promote this not as a lifestyle or a brand, but more as a healthy diet and a healthy alternative for those who are wishing to seek it?
Yeah, so that's a good thing. Like, so this is what also something I was saying, that you tell people about this, you promote it as a health thing. If anyone buys that it's healthy to be vegan, but you promote it as a health thing, you promote it as, even if you want, like, as an ethical choice or whatever, but like, you don't turn it into a propaganda, you do not turn it into, so that you don't guilt people into your philosophy, you inspire people into your philosophy. What do you say, Prateek, about that?
So let me start with this. Being this whole marketing thing, veganism marketing thing, that if you go vegan you will be healthy. That's actually not true.
Yeah.
Because you can be vegan and you can be very unhealthy. Because there are vegans who have suffered a lot of serious health issues, even on plant-based diet, even on vegan diet. Like initially, like I said, that it's not about the diet that makes you healthy. It's how you balance diet that makes you healthy. And this whole propaganda thing is also, again, very wrong. It comes from very elitist point of view. Very white saviorism, white Brahmanism point of view, where you try to guilt people, you try to tell them that because you're doing this, you're doing that, you should be vegan. And these are like very single-minded, single-issue vegans who don't even who like. I'll tell you what about these people. They come from a certain background. Okay, they have never heard about any oppression. They have never faced any oppression in their lives. And they want to feel victimized, like how NRIs go in NRIs from all over the world. They want to use this colonialism thing, that we are the victims. And when you tell about what about casteism, bro, and then they start saying, stop talking about it, like that. So these people come from that background and they don't anything to associate with. So they think, see, animals are dying, see, this is happening, so I should associate myself with them, I should become their savior. So they try to start doing this propaganda thing, and then they'll try to make it sound like, it's very preachy, and this is how you should go.
Prateek, don't you think this entire thing also feeds into the fascist propaganda? Don't you think that happens a lot? I'm not saying
it does feed into the,
because there was a tribal professor who got murdered because he was having meat, and there are other people who went to jail or were lynched because of association with meat, or
if somebody's murdering somebody, then they're probably not vegan. I mean,
No, but it feeds that propaganda. It feeds that propaganda on a cultural level.
It feeds that propaganda. You see, all these people who say that they care about animals, they love animals, they open gaushalas and all those, they actually don't give a shit about animals. They don't.
Yeah, cows are dying in those
gaushalas. They either do it for their self promotion, or they do it for some sort of ideological ways or some sort of problem. Like you see all these gaurakshas, they don't. The best thing. What would be the best thing for a cow to be safe? To not get impregnated, to not buy her milk, to not even use them for anything.
Yeah, but they don't want
let
that.
Them be for. Yeah, they don't want that. They will drink milk. They will drink ghee. They will do all sort of the. They will sexually exploit them. They will sexually exploit bull. Everything they will do, but then you can't eat them. You can't kill them.
Yeah.
Because then it comes on moral. And this whole thing is actually driven by dairy industry only. Because dairy industry, they go and they're lined up in 500,000 rows, and they're impregnated against their will, and then they give birth to babies, and then those babies are also snatched from them.
So Prateek, in just a second, in our chat we are getting a message from one of our viewers, and they are mentioning Professor Hansada from Jamshedpur, who got arrested for posting about Santhali tradition of eating beef.
Yeah.
Do you want to comment on that?
He got arrested
No,
for
but this is not
eating beef.
veganism. This is like militant fucks. This is like political jargon, and it's
Yes.
people who. It's not based on veganism essentially. It's based around Brahminical or what do you call it, religious bullshit, like from the cow belt. That's
Yeah.
pretty much what's happening.
That's
You can't demonize
Yeah, that's
a
just what I
lifestyle like
explained
that. You know, like
just a few minutes ago, like just few
that's
seconds.
different.
It's very different.
This thing about the professor, obviously, like that's some dudes who like don't like people eating beef or something, and that's a very common thing in India, right?
And
but I don't.
I'd also
there
like
might
to
be
add
militant
to that.
vegans
I'd
here
also
and
like
there,
to
but
add to that. All these vegans in India, they are like mostly from upper caste and upper class, and so they sympathize with all these Gaurakshas, and they cheer when this beef ban happens and all this lynching happens. They support it, and people like us who come from those backgrounds, who see our own people getting lynched and our own people getting those things, it's very hard to see. And then it's again becomes very difficult for us to tell them that veganism is not something like that. Veganism doesn't involve about all those things and lynching and everything. It's not. It's a completely different concept. It's not like that, and we have very hard time because of them only. And they think that veganism, we are spreading veganism. They're actually destroying veganism.
I hear the sound of the news. You guys have been talking about all these things that are happening in the news. Should we go and see what the news is? See what's happening in the world outside? It's the news. The news. The news. Okay, what's happening? Are we not connected to the news?
Yeah. Hey guys, it's the news. You guys remember the news? The first piece of news is that my microphone has gotten huge. It's big now. It's a big fucking microphone now. And anyway, let's get down to the news. So you've all been hearing about these crazy reports that have been coming in over the last few weeks. These reports of cows attacking vegans everywhere all over the world. We really don't know what this is about. But all we know at the moment is that the attacks have been escalating in intensity and in violence over the past few weeks. The current list of casualties, and I'm gonna read out. What's that? I'm gonna read out from a list. This list of people who got attacked by cows. It includes cricket man Virat Kohli, politician and presidential hopeful Pamela Anderson, merchant of inconvenient truth Al Gore, there's some guy called Amir Khan, there's a rapper called Lizzo, there's a Mexican, someone, presidential nominee Demi Moore, thought leader and fashion icon Maneka Gandhi, and Catholic priest Rob Zombie. So these are people who've been attacked by cows quite recently, and they've put together a global task force, and we're just gonna receive some breaking news about that. So let's receive that. Okay. It seems pretty intense. Okay. So it turns out this whole thing is a cow uprising. They're going to be setting up what's called a cow Rashtra. You get it? They're going to set up a cow Rashtra, and what they're saying is that the cows have been attacking these people because apparently vegans are like a direct competition for the food. Like they eat same food, so the cows are like, what the fuck? And so they're attacking all these people. And so there's apparently some more breaking news. Okay. So apparently the cows are going to send the shittiest cows that they have, and then the humans are going to send the shittiest humans that we have, and they're just going to eat each other. That's the sin. And so, and apparently we've also been finding out that in the cow Rashtra, there have been reports coming in of like stratification in society. So like brown cows, white cows, black cows, they all have to sit separately. They have to eat different kinds of grass. So I mean, I don't really know about how great this new cow Rashtra is going to be. This is just my personal opinion as a news anchor. Truth law. Apparently many cows have also started drinking human piss in the effort to like get better or whatever.
That makes sense.
Come from WhatsApp forward, cow WhatsApp forwards. Apparently it cures cow cancer. In other news, apparently there's a beat incoming. So, let's hope for the beat. The fuck beat. Alright. And the news is coming. Yeah. In the news we have, in other news, as every other week, we have 3 pieces of news. With Pinnarai, Aishwarya Rai, and Amit Bhai. Pinnarai, Aishwarya Rai, and Amit Bhai. Okay? Pinnarai, Aishwarya Rai, Amit Bhai. Pinnarai, Aishwarya Rai, and Amit Bhai. Pinnarai, Aishwarya Rai, and Amit Bhai. Pinnarai. What's that? Aishwarya Rai and Amit Bhai. Okay? Pinnarai, Aishwarya Rai, and Amit Bhai.
नमस्कार, मैं आपसे आज कुछ बातें करना चाहता हूँ। आपने सुना होगा कि हर कंपनी में जितने भी प्रॉफिट्स बनते हैं उसका हकदार उस कंपनी का मालिक होता है, ना कि लेबर। ये तो काफ़ी आम बात है। आप सोचेंगे इसमें क्या बात करनी चाहिए? आखिर उस मालिक ने उस कंपनी को अपने आइडियाज़ को लगा कर बनाया है, उसका हकदार आखिर और कोई क्यों हो? इस सोच को रखने वालों से मैं पूछना चाहूँगा कि कितनी बार आपने कोई आइडिया सोचा है और उसके लिए आपने पैसे कमाए हैं? क्यों नहीं आप बिल गेट्स की तरह अमीर हो जाते हैं? ये सोचने की बात है। अगर आपने उस आइडिया को एग्जीक्यूट भी किया स्टार्टअप की तरह, तो वो क्या जेफ बेजोस के अमेज़ॉन की तरह सक्सेसफुल हुआ? ऐसा नहीं है, क्योंकि ऐसा कभी नहीं होता। दुनिया के सारे बड़े पूंजीपति अगर आज सक्सेसफुल हैं तो वो उनके मजदूरों की मेहनत की वजह से। इसीलिए कोई भी आइडिया के एग्जीक्यूशन के सक्सेसफुल होने के लिए मजदूर लगते हैं। कोई भी आदमी अकेले सफलता प्राप्त नहीं कर सकता। अब इसके बाद आप कहेंगे, पर मार्क ज़करबर्ग ने तो अकेले ही फेसबुक बनाया और आज देखो फेसबुक कितना बड़ा है। मैं आपको बता दूं कि 2004 में बना फेसबुक आज के फेसबुक से कोई ताल्लुक़ नहीं रखता। यह हमें फ़िलहाल में हुए मार्क ज़करबर्ग के खिलाफ डाटा चोरी केस में दिखाई देता है। उसमें जो भी अलेक्जेंड्रिया ओकासियो कोर्टेज़ ने ज़करबर्ग से पूछा, वो सब उसके सिर के ऊपर से पार हो गया। यह हमें दिखाता है कि ज़करबर्ग खुद ही अपने कंपनी के बारे में कुछ नहीं जानता। जो फेसबुक कई आईटी वर्कर्स के बदौलत चलती है, उसके बारे में वो कुछ नहीं जानता। तो भला हम कैसे बोल सकते हैं कि वह अपने फेसबुक से जो भी प्रॉफिट बन रहे हैं उसका असली हकदार है? इसके आगे कुछ लोग ज़रूर बोलेंगे कि यह तो ज़करबर्ग के अच्छे एग्जीक्यूशन की कामयाबी है। जी नहीं, अगर फेसबुक में इतने सारे आईटी वर्कर ज़करबर्ग के नीचे काम नहीं करते तो फेसबुक आज फेसबुक नहीं होता। अब शायद कुछ लोग बोलेंगे कि अगर फेसबुक बनता ही नहीं तो क्या होता? इससे तो हम वापस वही पॉइंट पे आ जाते हैं कि अब आपने जो इतने सारे आइडियाज़ बनाए वो आज तक बने ही क्यों ना? क्योंकि हम ये बात जानते हैं कि आइडिया अपने आप में कोई भाव नहीं रखते जब तक उनका एग्जीक्यूशन ना हो। अगर आप खुद ही काम नहीं करेंगे तो आइडिया सक्सेसफुल नहीं होगी। अगर काम करते हैं तो वो अलग बात है, नहीं तो हर $1 बिलियन आइडिया बिलियन नहीं तो मिलियन ज़रूर कमा लेती। और एग्जीक्यूशन के सफल होने के लिए हमें लेबर चाहिए। तो अगर देखा जाए तो कंपनी चाहे जिस भी आइडिया पे बनी हो, उस कंपनी के आइडिया पर जो लेबर करते हैं वही उसके प्रॉफिट के असली हकदार हैं। मैंने ये भी सुना है कि क्योंकि सीईओ डिसीजंस लेते हैं उसके कंपनी के मुनाफे पर हक बनता है। अगर वह केवल डिसीजन पर हाँ या ना बोलें जो एक पूरी टीम ने सोच विचार करके बनाई है और उस पर वही टीम काम करेगी, तो हम कैसे मान लें कि सीईओ के पास इतना ज्ञान है कि वह उस चीज़ पर हाँ या ना भी बोल सकता है जिस पर उसने काम तक नहीं किया। अगर वो उस डिसीजन को खुद भी बनाता है तो उसमें उसके नीचे काम करने वाले लोग लेबर करते हैं, ना कि वह खुद। चलिए अगर हम मान भी लें कि सीईओ एक मैनेजरियल लो रोल प्ले करता है, इसीलिए उसका उसकी कंपनी पर एक हक तो ज़रूर बनता है, पर उन स्टेक होल्डर्स का क्या जो केवल उस कंपनी से इसलिए कमा रहे हैं क्योंकि उनके पास पहले से बहुत पैसे हैं? क्या आपको पता है कि मॉडर्न स्टार्टअप के सीईओ का स्टेक किसी भी कंपनी में कितना होता है? 60%, 50%? जी नहीं, 5 से 10% तक। बाकी के पैसे ऐसे लोग खा जाते हैं जिनका उस कंपनी से कोई नाता नहीं। यह अमीर शेयर होल्डर और सबसे कम पैसे उन लेबर्स और वर्कर्स को मिलते हैं जो सबसे ज़्यादा काम करते हैं। अगर इसके बाद भी यह बोलिएगा कि ओनरशिप भी एक चीज़ होती है, तो हमारी लड़ाई इसी चीज़ से है, जिसमें केवल चंद लोग पैसे खाते हैं जो कुछ करते भी नहीं, बस क्योंकि उनके पास प्राइवेट ओनरशिप है इसीलिए वो उनके नीचे काम करने वाले लोगों से मेहनत के पैसे चूसते हैं। अगर आप बोलते हैं ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए तो मतलब आप पूंजीवादियों के स्टार्टअप के स्कीम के बारे में पूरी बात समझ गए हैं और पूंजीवादी समाज की सक्सेस स्टोरीज के पीछे की सच्चाई को भी समझ गए हैं।
So I just want to say that I'm not a complete douche. I'm wearing sunglasses inside in a dark room because I'm having migraines, and that's why I'm doing it. And I just felt like I had to say that.